heart of the Pacific, something is vanishing. A nation drowning with every wave. Homes washed away. Streets torn apart. Tuvalu, one of the smallest countries on Earth, but the first to disappear. And when it sinks, the world will follow. This is the country that will vanish. Imagine this. You wake up one morning and your country no longer exists. Your home, your land, your flag, gone. Swallowed by the ocean. The map of the world rewritten forever. This isn't a movie. This isn't a dystopian novel. This is happening right now. And the first country on Earth to vanish might be one you've never even heard of. Tuvalu. The Pacific Ocean hides many secrets. Tiny dots of land, scattered like jewels on the water. Beautiful, exotic, fragile. But one of them, Tuvalu, carries a terrifying fate. A fate that could be a blueprint for humanity's own end. Tonight, we uncover Tuvalu's story. A thriller, not of fiction, but of reality. Tuvalu. Just 9 islands. A total land area of 26 square kilometers. Smaller than most cities. Population? Barely 11,000 souls. To the naked eye, it looks like paradise. White sand, palm trees swaying, blue water stretching into infinity. But beneath the postcard-perfect surface lies a design flaw. Tuvalu isn't built on mountains. It isn't built on solid rock. It sits on atolls, ancient volcanoes that collapsed into the ocean, leaving fragile rings of coral and sand. Land that barely rises above sea level. The country's average elevation, just 2 meters. The highest point, 4.6 meters. That's it. Imagine your entire homeland standing lower than the roof of your house. Now imagine the ocean rising, inch by inch, year by year. Funafuti, Tuvalu's main island, is so thin that a single airstrip slices through its middle. On one side, the ocean. On the other, the lagoon. In some places, you can stand in the center of the island and see both coasts just by turning your head. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And then came the data. Since 1993, NASA satellites have been watching Tuvalu. Their verdict? The seas here are rising 1.5 times faster than the global average. 15 centimeters in 30 years.
The satellite altimetry confirms a significant increase in sea level over the past 2 weeks.
This rate of change is
Right now, Tuvalu floods about 5 days a year. By 2050, it will flood 25 days a year. By 2100, 100 days of flood every year. Funafuti, home to over half the nation's people, will be half submerged. Imagine living in a place where 1/3 of your year means water rushing through your streets, your crops poisoned by salt, your homes collapsing. But this isn't just Tuvalu's tragedy, it's humanity's warning. Because rising seas don't stop at Tuvalu's borders. By 2050, 800 million people worldwide, from Mumbai to Miami, will be at risk. For Tuvalu, though, the countdown is much shorter. The sea doesn't negotiate, it doesn't wait. And here's the twist. Tuvalu isn't just losing land, it's losing its identity. A country is more than soil and borders. It's culture, heritage, history. And when the waves claim Tuvalu, they don't just drown streets, they erase memory. Unless something is done. The government of Tuvalu is fighting back. But how does a nation fight the ocean? Step 1. Create new land. Engineers have reclaimed 18 acres of flood-resistant ground, raised above sea level, a fragile fortress in the middle of the ocean. Protective barriers and seawalls have been built. Salt-resistant crops are being planted, but these are bandages on a mortal wound. Tuvalu knows it cannot win this war with concrete and coral, so it came up with a plan so bold, it sounds like science fiction. The Virtual Nation Project. Every home, every building, every palm tree scanned in 3D. Every story, every song, every dance, digitized. Tuvalu is uploading itself into the cloud, creating a digital twin of the entire country. So even if the land disappears, Tuvalu will live on as the world's first virtual nation. Government, online. Passports, digital. Elections, virtual. Imagine voting for your leaders in a nation that no longer physically exists. That is Tuvalu's gamble. But here's the chilling part. They aren't doing this as a backup. They're doing it because they know the sea is coming.
Plan B. Migration.
In 2022, Tuvalu signed the Funafuti Union Treaty with Australia. For the first time in history, a nation created a climate visa. Every year, 280 Tuvaluans will be relocated to Australia, not chosen by wealth, age, or skills, but by lottery, because climate change does not discriminate. But do the math. At that rate, it will take 40 years to relocate everyone, and Tuvalu doesn't have 40 years. Imagine being one of 11,000 people waiting to see if your number is called, knowing that if it isn't, you might drown with your country. Meanwhile, Tuvalu has made sure of one thing. Even if every citizen leaves, even if every island sinks, Tuvalu will remain a sovereign nation. The Constitution has been rewritten. The United Nations has been petitioned. Tuvalu refuses to vanish quietly. But as noble as this sounds, the fear lingers. Can a country exist without land? Can a culture survive in exile?
There's another player in this story, geopolitics. Tuvalu is one of the few nations that recognizes Taiwan over China, and China
We
wants
are
to change
honored
that.
to be here today.
Offers have been made, promises whispered. But then came Australia. By signing
looking
the
at a new
treaty,
chapter.
Tuvalu gave
It's a
Australia
chapter.
veto power over its defense agreements. Translation, Tuvalu can't ally with China without Australia's permission. So, beneath the rising seas, a silent war is unfolding. China expanding, Australia resisting. Tuvalu caught in the middle, a pawn in a game it never asked to play. But here's the cruelest irony of all. Tuvalu contributes almost nothing to global emissions. Its carbon footprint is microscopic, yet it suffers the most. Meanwhile, the 20 biggest polluters, the US, China, India, Europe, Australia, create 80% of emissions. As Tuvalu's prime minister put it, fossil fuel expansion is a death sentence, not just for his nation, but for the world. Picture this. A storm brews over the Pacific. Waves crash against Funafuti's slender shore. Salt water seeps into wells. Children's feet splash in water that wasn't there yesterday. In a dim government office, servers hum, uploading the final scans of a vanishing land. The people of Tuvalu wait. Some for the lottery, some for the tide, all for a future that may never come. Tuvalu is sinking, But in its struggle, it's leaving us with one haunting message. What happens to us will happen to you. We are only the first. The ocean is coming for everyone. So the question isn't just whether Tuvalu will survive. The question is whether we will.